Does your AI narrator sound like it's reading off of a page? Like a robot droning through your video? Believe it or not, it's not ElevenLabs that's the problem. It's how you're using it. If you want your AI voice to sound just like me, follow along. Now, whether you're making a YouTube video, an ad, or telling a story, the requirement is the same: a voice that sounds natural, expressive, and suitable for your content. To generate that quality of voice, you need to choose the right model for the generation. Then select a voice that will go well with your content. Craft a script that actually sounds natural, and tweaking the settings in ElevenLabs according to your vision. First, let's start with choosing the right model for our purpose. ElevenLabs offers multiple voice models. The two main models are Multilingual V2 and ElevenV3. Multilingual V2 is your go-to for stable and natural narration. ElevenV3 is built for maximum expressiveness. Think dramatic audiobooks, character dialogues, or anytime you want your voiceover to have theatrical expressiveness. So which to use? If you're doing a straightforward narration or an informative video like this one or an ad, stick to Multilingual V2 for reliability and the maximum amount of manual control over the tone and style of the voice. If your script calls for drama, multiple characters, or really needs to sound like a movie scene, then ElevenV3 is the tool of choice. After you have selected the model you want to use for voice generation, it's time to pick the voice you want for your content. It is probably the single most important factor in creating a natural-sounding voice. In fact, ElevenLabs' own documentation says that not all voices are built the same. Some are energetic, some are calm, some have accents or a particular timbre. A voice that fits your content can make all the difference. Like if you're doing an instructional or educational video, pick a voice that sounds steady and clear. For an ad or punchy intro, try a voice-tagged conversational or enthusiastic. These often have more spark. If you're in doubt, do a quick test. Grab a line from your script and generate it with a few different voices. Let's look at an example to understand how it really impacts the output. Here's a sentence. Let's hear how it is expressed by 4 different voices.
This hook appeals to a broad audience, especially those who feel physically or emotionally distant from their mothers and want to reconnect.
This hook appeals to a broad audience, especially those who feel physically or emotionally distant from their mothers and want to reconnect.
This hook appeals to a broad audience, especially those who feel physically or emotionally distant from their mothers and want to reconnect.
This hook appeals to a broad audience, especially those who feel physically or emotionally distant from their mothers and want to reconnect.
Also, while you're picking voices, keep one eye on your visual flow as well. As soon as you lock a voice and tone, start thinking about what kind of visuals would match that energy. It makes your editing process much smoother later. Apart from the voice, the script itself is also one of the biggest factors in producing a natural-sounding voice generation. If your text is too stiff or AI unfriendly, the voice will sound weird. ElevenLabs documentation reminds us that good input yields good output. Here are a few things to keep in mind that will help you get the best results. 1. Don't dump a huge paragraph in one go. Break your narration into short sentences. Generate each line one by one. A big wall of text almost always leads to a robotic-sounding monotone. 2. Spell out the numbers in the script instead of using the usual numericals. This small change prevents the AI from hesitating or mispronouncing numbers. 3. Use natural conversation starters like so or well or you know. Throwing in a casual opener can make the voice feel more conversational, and you can always cut it out in editing if needed. Here is a quick example.
Here's the thing most brands miss. You don't need a new shoot to make 5 different Mother's Day ads. Now here's the thing most brands miss. You don't need a new shoot to make 5 different Mother's Day ads.
4. Write the script like you speak. Think about how you deliver a sentence while speaking. Say it out loud and then put that in writing. If you want a pause, indicate it. More on that next. If you want excitement, maybe use an exclamation mark or all caps on a word. Capitalization can drive emphasis. Now let's dive into the settings for the Multilingual V2 model. These sliders control the voice's behavior. Never drop the stability below 35%, otherwise it will sound like this.
People only stop scrolling when a hook feels real when it triggers something emotional.
45 to 50% is the sweet spot for a natural-sounding voice like me. Going too high will produce a voice like this.
People only stop scrolling when a hook feels real when it triggers something emotional.
A similarity value between 70 to 85% keeps the voice identity intact and eliminates most artifacts. But if you want a more dynamic voice, you can safely drop it close to 50%. Let's listen to this example to understand the differences.
So let's explore 5 hook frameworks that not only make your ad stand out, but also look into what makes them convert and who they're targeting. So let's explore 5 hook frameworks that not only make your ad stand out, but also look into what makes them convert and who they're targeting.
For style exaggeration, the default setting of 0 is recommended, and if you are feeling really experimental, you can crank it up to 10%. Anything higher starts sounding like a bad ad. Multilingual V2 doesn't understand emotion tags, but you can simulate human pacing and emotions through punctuation. The most reliable way to insert precise breaks is to use this. The AI actually understands this syntax, so it will pause naturally. Don't use too many though. Too many breaks can make the speech choppy or introduce artifacts. Another way to introduce forced pauses and breaks is to use em-dashes and hyphens. This gives an almost human-like stutter effect. Use one dash for a little breath, multiple dashes for a bigger pause. Also, ellipsis can be used to create pauses that sound hesitant or thoughtful. Here is an example.
I thought you'd understand, he said, his voice slowing with disappointment.
Use sparingly, since it adds a bit of anxiety or trailing off feeling in the voice. Exclamations and intonations can be used to add energy to the voice like this.
I can do full Shakespeare now. Check this out. To be or not to be, that is the question.
And capitalized words add emphasis. These give the AI cues to elevate pitch and force, as we can hear in this example.
You know how I've been totally stuck on that short story?
In short, treat your script like spoken language with natural stops to make your voice sound more real. Now let's look at ElevenLabs V3. It is a whole new ballgame because it introduced audio tags for direction and emotion. These are special bracketed words you embed in your text. The model will change how it generates the voice based on the audio tags. For example,
All right, guys. Seriously. Can you believe just how realistic this sounds now? I mean, oh my God. It's so good.
it is important to keep in mind that you still need a matching voice. Not every voice will do every emotion tag equally well. 11v3 also gives you modes instead of percentage sliders to control the voice stability. Creative mode maximizes emotion and expressiveness, perfect for artistic projects where you want dramatic ups and downs. Natural mode is a great starting point for most content. Natural mode aims for good clarity with healthy emotion, basically middle of the road between stability and expressiveness. Robust mode locks the voice into a very steady, consistent delivery. It's less colorful, but super reliable, which can be useful if you want a serious, monotone vibe or are concerned about any glitches. Here are some samples.
Okay, don't panic. We can still fix this. Probably. Unless the autosave failed again. Okay, don't panic. We can still fix this. Probably. Unless the autosave failed again. Okay, don't panic. We can still fix this. Probably. Unless the autosave failed again.
Last but not least, even after the AI works its magic, a bit of audio polish and edit can make a huge difference. Compression effects, audio EQ, and subtle pitch shift on individual audio tracks can enhance the naturalness of the generation a lot. Okay, there you have it, the full recipe. If you use these techniques, your ElevenLabs voiceovers will start feeling so much more natural. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit subscribe for more in-depth tutorials. Thanks for watching.